Hello and welcome. I sound rather British. Believe it or not, I'm Australian. Believe it or not. I don't know how else to start this video other than welcome, and this is how you're going to learn how to market your artwork. We're going to go through a whole bunch of different strategies, ideas, and ways for you to market your artwork to people who will actually buy the stuff. Because there's no point in marketing to other artists, apparently, other than if you really want to network with them, which I highly recommend. This is how you're going to market to people who will buy, whether that be originals, prints, or merch. Let's go straight into it. No need for an introduction other than my name is James. I'm also an artist, art student, and I do interviews with artists and galleries. And art fairs too. Why do some artists blow up while other artists' work seem to get lost in everything?
The question for the ages.
One of my very first examples of how I market my art personally is through social media and networks. I go to a lot of art events, which has led to me being able to sell a couple of original paintings, take plenty of commissions, and be able to sell some prints. Now, before you go rushing off and buying a ticket to any old art fair, that is not the number one way in which I've sold my work. Mostly, I've managed to sell my work through Etsy and social media marketing. I got extraordinarily lucky in an art project I did many years ago where I made headlines in newspapers and magazines. Woo-hoo! That didn't contribute at all to the way that my art sells, believe it or not. It's actually more of a social media brand image thing. One of the best books I would recommend is Journey to 1 Million Followers, or something like that. It's a good book, but it basically just says you need to buy adverts and market yourself correctly, which isn't very helpful for artists, especially when the majority of us don't have money. Instead, I actually started creating reels very early on when they were first released on Instagram and started just short form marketing my artworks. With every single video I did, I actually managed to link it back to the prints. Some of these videos got 10,000 views, some of them got like nothing. The funny thing is, the ones that got very few amount of views are the ones that actually resulted in more purchases of my artwork. Because I managed to convey a story and connect with the people who are watching my videos on a one-to-one level. In terms of commissions and originals, that mostly happens through networking and random people reaching out going, "Hey, I like your style, will you paint me something?" And then you go, "Absolutely, what would you like painted?" And they go, "My dog." So you go, "Okie dokie, here's how much money that will be." And that person usually turns around and goes, "That's more expensive than we thought." I don't know what the voice thing is. Anyway, they usually haggle a lot. If commissions are your thing, go for commissions. Not personally my thing, but I enjoy doing them every now and again. If I get the right client, one that is lenient in my art style. The whole idea around great art sells itself is what I would say Bolshevik. It does not. I have done art sales. It is very complicated. Great art does not sell itself. The biggest thing I will ever recommend to anybody trying to sell art is make a story. If you don't have a story, you can't sell it. One of my most successful art pieces, whether it be a print or the originals, are actually a drawing of Rose from the Titanic movie that I did 3 years ago, and it's just on Etsy, just always selling. Because I created a personal story around it, where I actually decided to make my own oil painting out of the original sketch type thing. It was a thing in my head that I just wanted to put on a canvas, and it sold amazingly because lots of people wanted a finalized version product of the sketch. And so I crafted a story and it managed to sell. But I've done much better pieces. Pieces that look absolutely astounding, but they don't sell. Because I put more energy and effort into creating a story around an artwork that would actually sell. This doesn't just go for that one, this also goes for a bunch of different paintings and artworks that I've done and sketches. Believe it or not, my sketches sell more than my paintings. Which leads me into an artist's brand. Everybody will say having a recognizable style helps. Yes, it absolutely does. Don't let that get muffled or mixed. If you have a unique style, use it, but don't start feeling constrained within it. It is much easier to build yourself up and become more recognizable as your own personal image as an artist and creative. This allows you flexibility, which as a creative is the most valuable thing, I would definitely say. Like I said, if you're able to get on camera and talk about your artwork and a story, that will 1,000 times improve your selling ability of your work. It creates a relatability product that people want to buy into, whether that be emotional, tactical, or analytical. All three of those words, I don't actually know what I just meant or said, but it makes sense in my head. Obviously, the platforms on where to sell, I will definitely recommend Etsy to list your artworks to sell. If not, have your own website. Etsy's a lot better though, because it has better SEO integrated if you're just starting. I have tried selling on TikTok Shop, with my artworks.
It did not work well.
Instead, I actually found it a lot easier to be able to just create a whole bunch of videos, speed drawing, time lapses, storytelling around the artwork, and channel and funnel people into the Etsy things, where they would then buy the artwork and give me money. Newsletters, everybody will tell you how important this is. I do not really have a newsletter. I do have a little list, but it's not something I really use an awful lot. But I know a lot of successful artists personally who use them, and they work amazingly well. If you're able to do that, definitely do it. It's not really my thing. I'm more of the social media side of things. Personally, we could go into the whole thing of galleries and how they promote your artwork and how to sell through them, but that I think is something that will wait for an entirely different video. Because I also have an awful lot of references and interviews that I can reference back to tell you how to sell in a gallery. I forgot about pricing your artwork. This whole video is just pure chaos.
Welcome to my mind.
Yes, I am a rather chaotic person. Also, anybody who asks about the voices or accents, please, I don't know. It's just me. How to price your artwork? Abso-positively. When I was first starting out, I did a lot of research online and managed to find a thing about how you should put like $12 per cubic inch of your canvas into how much that painting should cost. I didn't really like this. Honestly, I just went on Etsy or some other artist shops that I know and just competitively priced my artworks around their similar pricing and what I thought my skill level was. Obviously, imposter syndrome for artists is huge.
I also suffer from this thing.
We all do. But once you find a price that works and is more relatable with your customers, definitely go for it. Make sure you're marketing to the people who want to buy. That means when you're creating the stories around your paintings and your artworks, you don't want to go, "Hello artists, welcome, joined my community." You want to go more of, "This is how I created an artwork that was so personally connected to me." And then get people who are interested in the whole blah 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 stuff to then go, "Ooh, I like this person." There's a fantastic watercolor artist. I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but she creates beautiful paintings of sheep. Very small niche. Probably most of her sales are in Wales. If you don't get that joke, don't blame me. And if you're offended by that joke, also don't blame me.
The Welsh started it.
She managed to actually create her own brand around just painting sheep and connecting with people who love sheep and love art. She managed to create the stories around it, and so she managed to funnel a bunch of people who had that interest into wanting to buy one of her paintings. Are you seeing how it works now? Great. One fantastic way that I know a bunch of artists do is by creating scarcity. This is where you basically dry out the market of your art and then like reinflux your art into the market to then boost sales and profitability and creating limited edition things. Anyway, it's a whole bunch of great stuff if you're a famous artist. If not, which I'm sure many of you are just starting out, as I always feel like I'm just starting out and would never actually do this because it sounds pretty crappy to me. But it is a good way if you are well known and you have an audience to make more money out of your artwork and to make it more manageable for yourself rather than having to constantly sell and print and do all that sort of admin work. If you're able to get press and PR, great. If not, don't worry about it. I managed to get in magazines and newspapers and stuff. It helped a little bit in recognizability, it did not help in sales. 3 big things that artists fail at in marketing. 1, being too passive. Waiting for opportunities rather than creating them. 2, not engaging with your audience. If somebody comments, comment back. 3, spamming without providing value. I think as artists, we all provide value. Great, whoopie-doo, but really create some value and a story around your artwork that will help it sell in the actual algorithm bit. Ta-da! I'm very aware that marketing in today's day and age, especially with social media, is incredibly hard and can be a little bit toxic. But don't worry, stick at it, and eventually you'll build an audience that really likes your artwork, whether that be artists who want to collect other artists' artwork, or art collectors, or just normal people who want a nice pretty painting on their wall. Personally, I actually collected a lot of other artists' work. All of these artworks you see on the back are other artists' works that I've collected and bought over time and just accumulated. I hope this has really helped. If not, then you probably didn't stay to this bit. If it did, yay, thank you. If you liked this, please let me know if you'd like to see more.
Thank you for watching.